Hello and welcome to Cyberlock Entertainment, and in today's video I'll be ranking the Arkham Knight DLC episodes from worst to best. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, maybe subscribe and tell me your rankings in the comments below. So starting off, at number 6 is Catwoman's Revenge. This DLC involves you playing as Catwoman, breaking into Riddler's robot factory to get her revenge. So the first area of this DLC looks absolutely amazing with the old toy store look. It's a very unique location, but the reason this DLC is at number 6 is it is literally a complete copy and paste of the strange vault level in Arkham City. You first pickpocket the guards, you go back to a computer, then you take out the Riddler goons. It's very simple and nothing special. Then there's a small puzzle, but it's very easy, just find the object with the number on it. Then the DLC takes you to the Riddler Factory, which had a lot of potential to be really interesting, but ends up being an elevator ride with a gimmick of shock floors that a lot of people really had problems with. I didn't, but I think I might have just got lucky because there's a lot of people complaining about the combat encounter. So yeah, this was a very disappointing DLC, as Catwoman was one of my favorite DC characters, and this ends up just being very forgettable. The Riddler conversations back and forth are really the only thing that carry the DLC, and if you don't like Riddler, you will really be annoyed. And it's a shame since there was a lot of potential with the Riddler Factory. Maybe make it more stealth, more rooms, I don't know, anything could have worked, but the DLC is just very short and not very memorable. And at number 5 is GCPD Lockdown, set after the events of Arkham Knight, and it has some really good conversations with Nightwing, speaking with Lucius Fox, and the Penguin. Biggest thing about this one is seeing Gotham in actual daylight and looking at the GCPD building and seeing the construction work, showing more about what little we know about the Arkhamverse after the events of the main game. A very small part in Bloodhaven also shows Tiny's return, the shark from Arkham City, but after that part the DLC is just kind of one big stealth area. Seeing more of the inside of the GCPD that we never got to see in the main game was also really cool though. But apart from the stealth section, the DLC is just very short and only has a very small combat section on the rooftop. Playing as Nightwing was awesome, and he was generally funny in some parts. It's also cool to see how the villains try to escape, which is what a lot of the DLCs were actually based on. At number 4 is Red Hood Story Pack, a very creative name there. This is a very interesting DLC, as for the first time you play a character who can actually use guns and can actually kill. It starts with the stealth section in a decent location. Red Hood guns can shoot from very far away, and after the stealth section there's just some more fighting, then a Black Mask boss fight. That's alright, I don't know how to make a Black Mask boss fight any better honestly. You just attack him till his health bar's gone, and dodge some gunfire, and use takedowns on him. This DLC does have some slight story elements as it is set after the events of Arkham Knight, but since they didn't want to spoil any of the plot since it was actually a pre-order bonus, there's nothing really interesting really said. The only notable thing here is Black Mask's death and getting to play as Red Hood. At number 3 is the Harley Quinn story pack set before Arkham Knight, and actually gives some detail to the whole teaming up plan Scarecrow had, which honestly the main story fell very flat on in the aspects of villains actually working together. This DLC has that with the Penguin and Harley Quinn. A lot of detail really went into Harley Quinn in terms of gameplay. She has some very unique gadgets, and the detective mode is really interesting and sad when you think about it, as all the walls just scribbled with madness. But leaving it on for a long time, you can actually hear Harley and Quinzel trying to get through to Harley, showing that maybe there's still some sanity left in her. The setting is very unique, being Bloodhaven Police Department, and there's a lot of combat areas and stealth areas which Harley can do loud takedowns on, and once charged up can go into a mode where she one-shots everyone. Bloodhaven Police Department is very detailed, and it's a big area compared to a lot of the other DLCs. The final part involves a boss fight against Nightwing, which is the first to actually be fighting against one of the superheroes. It's a good DLC, but suffers the problem with most of the others in that it's just way too short. Especially the amount of gameplay options they gave Harley, you expected more gameplay with it. At number 2 is Flip of the Coin, playing as Robin in what could be one of my favourite stealth areas in all of the Arkham series, a waste disposal area with different ways to traverse around it and a lot of enemies. This area was great, and once again it is set after Arkham Knight and during Tim and Barbara's honeymoon, making it the furthest in the Arkham timeline we currently know of, though Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League could be set after, but as of this video we do not know yet. But the conversations between Robin and Oracle are interesting to listen to and attempt to further create the relationship between these two that was missing in the main games. After the amazing stealth section, Robin goes to Hell's Gate in what might be one of the most beautiful looking areas. It's bright and sunny outside, and the architecture is amazing. It's so different than anywhere else we've been in the Arkham games. There's some fun little distractions such as minigun goons and hacking sentry turrets, then a puzzle that was so simple yet took me far longer than it should have since I was being an idiot, then a bullet shield section, one of Robin's best gadgets that unfortunately isn't used that much, then unfortunately right at the end of the DLC it just falls flat with a quick time Two-Face boss fight, you could say. One button and you beat Two-Face. Now the bosses in this game, especially this one, aren't particularly great, but quick time bosses are never fun. Again, I wish they made less DLCs and just extended the best ones, since this area was really cool, just again, very short DLC. And at number 1, it's kind of obvious since it's the only DLC that had an actual hub area and clearly had the most effort put in, but at number 1 is A Matter of Family, the Backgo DLC. Basically, to sum it up, it's like a mini Arkham Asylum experience, but you play as Backgo. The funfair is very fun to go around, there's balloons to destroy and Joker teeth like in Arkham Asylum. There's even some interesting lore behind the creation of the funfair. Backgo plays similar to Batman but with more focus on hacking, which creates some really fun stealth sections, the octopus robot part being one of my favourite stealth sections ever. Turning off all the lights and taking them down is very satisfying. Diffusing bombs in a time limit was stressful, but not too hard. Again, the DLC is focused on Tim and Barbara. Trying again to make the payoff of them getting married at the end of Arkham Knight more of an impact than every single player being like, oh that's cool, since there was very little between the two till Arkham Knight, and even then, in Arkham Knight it's very minimal. But there's a lot of creativity here with the stealth, especially with all the things that can be hacked, and one particular section with the Ferris wheel spinning, stopping you from getting through it, and also stopping goons from seeing you. I don't think that was intentional, I think that was a bug, but it's still there. The DLC also ends with a pretty good double boss fight with classic Harley and Joker each having their own health bar. It's not complicated, but it's fun, and the only time you fight them both at the same time in the whole Arkham series. So this is what the DLCs should have been like. Even though you can complete in an hour, it's still longer than the others, it's still pretty short though. So in conclusion about the DLCs, it's hard to say they were bad, apart from Catwomans Revenge, but it's also hard to say you weren't disappointed, since a lot of them showed a lot of potential, from great DLC side stories. Most just end as they're getting really good, and even the longer DLCs would have been better if they just had more time spent on them. Quality over quantity. But for the price being as cheap as it is, most of them are still worth playing for more Arkham gameplay. Now, I haven't actually ranked the most wanted DLC here since I haven't actually played it yet. I'm currently playing through Arkham Knight main story for another video that's very interesting. So expect a lot more Arkham videos coming soon, but as always, let me know your ranking below, and thanks so much for watching. Hello everyone, Cyberlock here. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and click one of the links below if you want to watch more of my videos, and make sure to hit that bell icon to stay fully updated. I also have a new Discord and a Patreon. But until next time, you've been watching Cyberlock Entertainment.